Hmm. Then I think if we do Concrete Jungle, I actually want to do it as a let's play and not a stream. Thinking about it a little more. Okay, so it's been a long time since we've done this. If I remember correctly, oh no, I'm not there anymore. Because I logged into this somewhat recently because let me go to Galaxy. Uh, Search. Make sure. Yeah, we're good. They added Trappist 1 to the game.
Trappist 1?
This is a star that was a star system that was very recently discovered, like in real life, that has a bunch of exoplanets orbiting it.
Interesting.
And it just so happened that Elite Dangerous's RNG system already actually put a very similar system to Trappist 1 there. Like in that exact place, that same place in the galaxy. So they decided to patch it into the game with the new patch to keep the galaxy map in line with real life. Pretty cool, huh?
That is crazy cool.
All right, so we're gonna go to the station see if we can find some work. But all right, so I was ranting about Area 51, and it's just like it stands to reason that they could have very easily been testing like other planes there that looked equally weird and awkward. That could have just they could be very easily mistaken as UFOs. And I guess
Wait, are
like
you streaming?
yeah, yeah, we're online right now.
Are we?
Yeah,
Am I online?
yeah. No, Nick, you're in some nether dimension. You're not online. You're
Like,
in.
I can see Elite Dangerous right now.
Oh, yes. I should stop for a sec. We keep. I'm not used to switching games this many times.
How am I supposed to crack open this cold one without my boys?
All right, I'm just gonna have to share screens with you. That's why we have to keep doing this because I'm doing share window, not share screen.
Yeah.
There we go. Now you should be able to see.
Yes, flying through space. Your onboard navigator is back.
Yes. Now, do not commence that function that we told you not to do. Specifically, had them remove that at the last trip to the starport.
I have been upgraded, you see. I no longer commence sucking. Commence tugging.
Oh God, no! The little robot arm claws. No.
They like hook into the skin.
Ah! Stop.
We are mechanically designed to encourage ejaculation at all speeds.
But here's the thing about here's the catch to my rant about Area 51. I don't completely discredit all UFO sightings. We don't know for sure if we've ever actually seen anything. So like some things have more merit than others. For example,
I've seen a lot of things.
okay, there's this common sighting that people see that they see. I think it's like 4 or 5 red lights in a massive V pattern flying in the sky.
That's a
Okay.
plane.
No. It's distinctively not a plane, and sometimes they see a massive wedge body that they're connected to.
Okay.
Like something like it's way bigger or way lower than a plane would normally be, and it makes no sound.
Interesting. Okay.
And I read about them a lot before, but Becca and I have actually seen one. Now, whether or not this is aliens or not, it remains to be seen. Like it could be just some kind of secret aircraft or some crud like that. Oh crap! Maybe I should request docking before I just fly into the place.
Get the fuck away from here.
I got too into the conversation. Okay, contacts, retro dock, request docking. There we go. But it was a couple of years ago, like like 2 or 3. It was while we were still living at South Point Towers, and it was on Christmas Eve, where my dad was dropping us off, and he handed us our new TV stand at the time. And I look up and I see this red light slowly going across the sky, and it's like fading in and out, fading in and out. And then I notice like the other 3 lights flying in the V pattern alongside it, and there's no noise. It unless you looked up, you'd have never known it was there. And I pointed it out to Becca, and we both watched it fly away. And like I thought that was all bullshit until I saw that. Like I don't know what I saw. It could have been just like some kind of weird plane that I've never seen before, or some crap like that. But it was really odd. Like, I'm not saying it was actually aliens.
This was a couple weeks ago, or a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, this was when we were still living at South Point Towers.
I think I saw the same thing that night.
But yeah,
but I guess my hearing's a little bit. I guess my hearing's a little bit better than yours, because like I listened real close, and I heard a faint ho ho ho.
Oh shush. But I'm actually not kidding. We really did see this. Like I'm not like once again I don't believe that 1% for a fact that it was aliens or some shit like that. I am, however, I have like that made me believe that people actually did see stuff like that. What it is remains to be seen though. But it sounds weird, but I actually saw it. Like I just sat there and watched it fly. I didn't see what was connected to the lights. It was just 4 or 5 lights flying in a V formation. And being really quiet. Like, eerily quiet.
Interesting.
Let's see what kind of work we can find. Blah, 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 blah. Mission board. Oh, wait. I should probably show you this. With the new patch, we have a face now.
Oh, shit.
Meet us.
That scar came from the time that we got blown the fuck out of the sky. Always on.
We're only wearing headgear during emergencies. I gave us a silver suit. But yeah, we have a face now, and we have
with weird pupils.
Yeah, we're creepy cyborg eyes.
Interesting. I imagine that I am the one, being that I'm your onboard computer. I'm the one that decides when it's an emergency, and I flip your helmet over.
We do also now have the ability to name our ship.
It already had a name.
Well, I'm going to change it to the appropriate name, because right now I have it named the Invisible Hand.
Our ship was always called the Titty Gumbo, okay?
The Titty Gumbo. Okay, well, we're gonna go fix that now. Enter ship name.
Or offensive language.
Yeah, so Titty Gumbo might not work.
Yeah! The Titty Gumbo. Here we go.
Our ship ID is still AA13X.
Yeah. AA for the Alcoholics Anonymous, and 13X standing for the 13 and counting years that we spent inside AA. We are a raging alcoholic.
Let's have a look at the shipyard, because I always like looking at the shipyard. I need to find ways to start ranking up like my faction loyalty, so I can actually get some good ships. I don't know if you remember, but a while back I upgraded our ship to a really decent one, the Asp Explorer. We currently have a jump range of 20 light years.
I remember the app.
We have a ton of weapons. Like 2 medium-sized multi-cannons, 2 small cannons, and 2 missile racks.
We have racks on racks.
Yeah. And we have 2 million credits in the bank.
That's nothing.
Well, there's nothing now. Back in the day when we first started streaming this, that was a lot.
Yeah. A credit's roughly equal to about 10,000 US dollars.
Oh shit, I didn't grab any work.
Titty gumbo away!
The flight of the maiden flight of the... Well, this isn't the maiden flight, but it's its maiden flight under the name Titty Gumbo.
Now I want some gumbo. I'm hungry. With or without titties, I just want some gumbo.
Just eat gumbo while simultaneously playing with a woman's titties.
Our next ship's the cock jambalaya.
And then the one after that's the testicle fritters.
I can't wait for the ass po boy.
The ass po boy. Fucking done. Oh.
Commence tug.
Oh god, no.
Not at warp speed, computer.
Alright, now we're gonna redock with the ship, with the station that we foolishly left. So we don't have a particular... Although I found out they, in the new patch, they actually expanded the Maya system.
Ooh.
Want to actually go back there for funsies?
Yeah, I mean, it only took, like, what?
We spent a longer time actually flying to that black hole.
Yeah.
This may sound really weird and dumb, but I actually rewatched that stream recently. Like, it's like watching my own shit, like it's a thing.
Yeah.
But I like to occasionally look back on our shit and see what we did wrong, see what we did well. Stuff like that. Becca thinks it's really weird. Like I'll be sitting there watching one of our old streams, and she's like, "Why are you watching your own stuff? You're fucking weird."
To be fair, it'd be weird if I did it, right? Because you have, and I think we've demonstrated this numerous times, you have a bit of a attention problem.
Okay.
Where you, like, can't really focus on 2 things at once very well. So, like, there's been numerous times where you're like, oh shit, we just died because I was too focused on conversation. Or you're, like, not into the conversation because you're like, I can't die at this moment, I gotta focus. So when you watch it back, you get to kind of see the whole thing and see how it acted.
Oh, yeah, Maya did. There's a lot more civilized systems out here. Let's have a look. Oh, and it's only 19 jumps to get there? Fuck yeah. But mainly I like looking back on it to like, alright, let's see where like any audio errors happen, like any blips. I want to see how well this recorded, stuff like that.
Yeah, I tend to do that. I don't... Like, I currently have on my hard drive right now a little mini series I recorded about like a couple weeks ago, and I was editing it, and I usually watch it a couple times while I edit it just to make sure that everything's okay. Usually after I upload it, I don't often go back, but there have been a couple of things I've gone back and watched. Like I watched Parasite Eve.
Oh, I rewatched that a while back too, and oh man.
It was miserable towards the end.
That and it was my first time recording anything, and I was being all weird and like anal.
You're telling me I was there. Oh boy. that week.
I mean, it was fun. Don't get me wrong. Because I actually kind of want to do a revisit of Parasite Eve 2 sometime in the near future.
Yeah, I want to get back to recording because I really enjoy streaming, but recording kind of there's like a different aspect to it where you get to have more of a polished feel to it.
Yeah, like I know what you mean. Is like I've been having like the same idea too. Like I actually really want to do like a Let's Play series again. Because I kind of want to do something that's actually segmented into smaller videos, again, at the very least.
Yeah. I was thinking about, because I told you the other day that I'm considering going through and trying to get the full, I think like 250 for Crystal. Have a complete dex.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I was reading something, because I was reading a breeding guide the other night for Pokemon. Apparently breeding shinies is really easy in Gen 2.
I've heard the opposite. I heard that it's easier in Gen 4 and onward because there's like some sort of like they introduced a different way to do it or something like that.
No, because in Gen 2, whether or not your Pokemon was shiny was based on their IVs.
Yeah.
And IVs are passed down through breeding, so your chances of getting another shiny through breeding are like 1 in 64.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like that's the easiest way to get a shiny in any Pokemon game.
Yeah, well, that's actually the cool thing about it is any Pokemon that you catch in Gen 1 that would fall in the shiny category for Gen 2, if you transfer to Gen 2, it's shiny.
That's actually a higher rate than Matsuda breeding with a shiny charm in current games.
See, I wanted to do the shiny, I wanted to do 250 shiny, but I really thought about the time it would really take me to do that, and it just seems like it would be a little bit too long for my liking.
Try and get shinies of your favorites then, and then just do a living Pokedex otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, but I was thinking about doing not like a series of it, but like a slow kind of like maybe record it and just like edit it down severely to like just kind of highlights sort of thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not something I'd record though. That's something I'd do personally.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do it personally, but I thought about maybe just make like a highlight reel talking about like different strategies and stuff that I used to do it.
Yeah, that's fair. But with the shiny breeding, though, that makes it really easy. Like, if you catch a shiny of something, you can get its entire evolution line as a shiny. Because you can breed and evolve.
Yeah.
So right now, because I've been messing around with breeding on my copy of of Sun, and I want to... Because I'm trying to breed the perfect Gibble. Because I want to have a super evil Garchomp.
I
have right now. I have a PC box that's full of Gibbles that I bred.
just gotta grind them away.
I'm trying to get one with really good IVs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not entirely sure how to do proper breeding, so I've been looking up guides for it and stuff like that, like how to make them inherit moves and things like that.
Yeah, one of the things I'm gonna have to do if I want to do the full decks for Crystal is I'm gonna have to figure out how to do like the coin case glitch and stuff so I can get a Mew and a Celebi.
Another thing is I can't wait till I finally finish White 2 on my own, like on my actual cartridge of it, because that means I can get Pokemon Bank and start transferring Pokemon up all the way from Game Boy Advance games, like all the way to Moon. Because I want some of Becca's. All right, so I randomly popped in. Becca still has her cartridge of Sapphire from way back when the games were still kind of new. Like it was her first Pokemon game.
Mm-hmm.
And she bred the fucking I think she did Torchic, Mudkip, and Eevee. She bred the Mudkip, Torchic, and Eevee master races. Like her Mudkip's no Earthquake out of the egg. and like her Eevee's no Shadow Ball.
Jesus.
So I want some of her. I want like one or two of her Master Race Pokemon to fuck around with, because those look tasty.
Yeah, I just one of my biggest problems is of getting shinies for the decks is I know a couple different ways to do it. I follow some people on YouTube that like are kind of like well-known shiny hunters, so they're like most of their content is of them like specifically searching for shinies and stuff. So I have like a bunch of different tips and stuff on how to properly do it. It's just wondering if I'm gonna actually enjoy doing it like halfway through. But for getting the full decks, I'm actually pretty. That doesn't seem too hard. I mean, one of the only issues is just having to replay the same two games a whole bunch. Because like to get the full decks, I'd have to go through both, like red and blue, as well as silver crystal, and I think I have to catch like one Pokemon on gold.
Oh, why did I just do that?
Other than that, it's not like terrible.
There we go. What was I gonna say? I had something I was gonna say. But like, I was thinking if we continue Resident Evil 3, I'd want to continue it as a Let's Play. I wish there was a way I could download my own videos back off of YouTube. Because I don't think there is.
I think there is.
So if I could, I'd segment the streams we did of Resident Evil 3 into episodes.
Well, instead of just straight up uploading them to YouTube from Twitch, I think you can download them from Twitch and do it that way as well.
Like, if they were still on Twitch, I'd already have done that.
Yeah. I'm just saying that as, like, moving forward, you can always do that.
Yeah. There's also an option where you can have Twitch upload them as 15-minute segments, but I don't know how I want to do that, because that would, like, get cut off mid-sentence, you know?
Yeah. One of the things I would do is, because,
By the way, we're stopping for gas.
That's fine. One of the things I thought about doing was, you know, as you stream, you can...
So for some reason the game's getting really choppy on me.
As you stream, you can kind of like segment it up during the stream. Just like keep like a little mini timer up. Because I usually have a timer up while I'm streaming anyway, just to know how long I'm streaming.
Hold the fucking phone.
You getting jacked?
Yeah, we're getting interdicted. Apparently we're in the bad part of town. Oh, come on. Come on, you motherfucker. The ship is heavily armed, but it's not the best at combat at the moment. I've been doing a lot of bounty hunting on this ship, just because it's not as maneuverable as I like. It doesn't have as much defense as I like, but it's armed to the teeth. Like, this ship is meant for just long-range exploration.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a combat-focused ship. If I ever get another combat-focused ship, I'm gonna get another Keelback. Because that thing was fun. We didn't do any things together when I had the Keelback.
Yeah, I don't remember it, so yeah, for sure.
It was the one that had a ship-launched fighter. Because for some reason the fighter was just ridiculous. Like, it was made of paper mache, but its weapons were insane. Like, I just destroyed people. I could just park the Keelback on the edge of the battlefield and launch my fighter. Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you denying my docking request?
They don't like your shift. Maybe they were the ones that are trying to interdict you, and you're like, uh-uh.
Well, they'd be trying to shoot me.
They just don't like your work.
I'm kind of mad. I need to refuel. Okay. Alright, we still have 12 jumps to go to get to Maya, so I'll just fucking fuel at another system.
Such dicks.
That's weird. I've never had a station just deny me like that. That's really weird. It is flying the colors of pirates. But I've never had I've been to stations that were flying pirate colors before, and they let me dock. That's really odd. Oh, I forgot I mapped my frameshifter out to the controller. So, what was I gonna say? Oh, fuck.
What were you gonna say?
I don't know, what was I gonna say? Do you have any other weird, creepy things to talk about?
Oh, yeah, so you've never heard of Jonestown?
Oh, the cultists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been.
I've always been fascinated by Jonestown, solely for the fact that there was a lot of interesting play arounds that Jim Jones used to really like avoid legal trouble.
Okay.
And I think the whole thing is just one of those really fascinating, like terrifying things where I don't know how to really describe it, but like reading about it is super unsettling to just think about the number of people that like
It's the sheer number
died.
of people he convinced to kill themselves.
Yeah, and there's like stories of like people going around with guns, making sure that everyone was drinking the Kool-Aid. And that's just like,
It's just weird how much people joke about don't drink the Kool-Aid. And just like, it's tied to that. You know?
I feel like a lot of people, don't even know the story behind it. So it's just like one of those things that's not pleasant to think about.
So I don't know about you, but how relieved are you that the fucking semester's over?
Well, my semester isn't over.
Oh, it isn't?
Well, it is, but it isn't. I'm still in class right now.
My classes are over.
I actually have an exam every.
Okay. The system doesn't have any people in it. That's nice.
We're all by ourselves.
Yeah, we didn't already make it to uncivilized space, did we? No, okay. We're gonna go there. Because it says this system is civilized. And since the Maya stream, I've learned that if you're in a system that says it's civilized, and you don't see any space stations on the map, find the system's nav beacon and scan it. It'll show you everything that's in the system. Because there's some things that are like sort of hidden.
Yeah.
And you have to like download the data from the nav beacon to find them.
That is weird.
I found that out because I got a mission that went to a station that apparently didn't exist. Like, I went to the system, is like, there's no station here, what the fuck? Oh, the game and dock. That's nice. There's a doc in this game apparently named after Neil Gaiman. Well, I'm gonna take a guess, but Neil Gaiman writes like weird sci-fi things.
My fiance actually is a huge Neil Gaiman fan and has a couple signatures of his.
Oh, nice.
And has a bunch of his books.
I accidentally exited.
She's also a huge fan of his wife.
I really like. He actually. I've never read any of his work, but he wrote one of my sort of favorite episodes of Doctor Who, the Nightmare in Silver. Like one of my favorite new episodes of Doctor Who, I should specify. It was a really good Cybermen episode.
Interesting. I've heard he does a lot of good work.
Then a while after you showed me the like Yahtzee and Gabe playing Dreamweb, I went and actually, because I didn't know who Neil Gaiman was, but I went and looked him up and I was like, holy shit, he really does look like the protagonist of Dreamweb. Ah.
Yes, he does. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was freakish.
Like, he looks a little older, but maybe that was him in his past years.
Speaking of like people looking like things, I recently was reading up about H.R. Geiger, the guy who designed like the Xenomorph and did a bunch of really like creepy, rapey looking art.
Yeah.
That guy looked fucking terrifying. Like he looks like he would like sip a glass of wine while sitting behind like some acid-proof glass while watching xenomorphs murder people. Like go Google him right now. He looks like the guy at the head of the evil corporation in a sci-fi movie.
I think I've seen him before, but yeah, he's like
he looks like he looks like a murderer. Like he looks like he strangles women in alleys. Don't get me wrong, I love his work. He's cool. He's a really unique artist, but holy shit, does he look creepy?
It's really funny because when you Google his name, it shows like pictures of him on the side, like information, born, died, period, movies, spouse, and then artworks. And the very first artwork that is there is the penis landscape.
Also, look at the screen right now. That is a cool looking planet.
That is actually a really cool looking planet. I like the little like red cracks in the earth.
Yeah, like little lava lakes and stuff.
Have you ever actually seen the penis landscape?
I know I've looked at a bunch of H.R. Geiger's work before, but I don't think like if I have, I don't know it by name.
Just a bunch of penises and asses. It's weird. Really weird.
Oh wow, I've never seen that type of station before. Check this out. There's two big beetle bobbers sticking out the sides of it.
What do you call them?
Deedle bobbers.
Deedle bobbers, alright.
That's the technical term.
Request docking at the Game and Dock.
Oh god, the thing's like swing and hit me, damn.
You are free to come aboard, Titty Gumbo.
You must avoid the arms to be allowed in the station. Things like a giant Beyblade in space. That was really cool, though. I've never seen. Then again, I did read that in their latest patch they did add a bunch of new docks, like a bunch of new space station types. Like there's apparently a new one that's a big hollowed out asteroid.
Interesting.
Like it's essentially functionally the same as this, is one of these, but except it's a big rock.
So, without any spoilers, what did you think of the series finale of Samurai Jack?
You're gonna slap me.
Without any spoilers.
I didn't watch it.
Not yet?
Dude, believe it or not, I haven't watched any of the new Samurai Jack past the first episode. Me and Becca keep forgetting about it. Then it coincides with the Funimation posting the new episode of Attack on Titan every week. And me and Becca have been like, holy shit, season 2 of Attack on Titan.
Interesting.
So yeah, for how much I talked up the new season of Samurai Jack, I feel like a dum dum.
Yeah, the series. I put quote unquote series because it is the series finale, but he has mentioned before that he'd be willing to return to it after this season. He just wants to do a bunch of other stuff first.
Although I heard they got like kind of Mary Sue with the one chick character Ashi that they introduced at the beginning of the season.
Um, I haven't heard anything about it other than like good old Tumblr freaking out about it, but I didn't see anything else.
Let's see what Neil Gaiman's Space Dock has. Neil Gaiman's Space Dock sounds like it would be like the name of like a weird like 80s synth band. All right, well, that was nice meeting you guys. We'll see you later.
Whoa!
We're off to Maya.
Titty gumbo away!
The titty gumbo. See, this is why I let you name the ship, because I knew you were going to do this.
That's the only way it, like, lifts off. There's no button, it's voice activated.
It'd be weird if we flew in here and there's a giant statue of Neil Gaiman in the center of the station.
All the weird throat nodules are just floating around.
Alright, and away we go. So, have you... one thing I wanted to bring up was, how much of the Alien franchise have you ever watched?
So I've seen Alien and Aliens.
Those
I've seen...
basically the only ones you need to see.
Seen Alien versus Predator. And...
You never seen Alien Resurrection?
Which one was Resurrection again?
I was the one that had Ron Perlman in it.
No, I didn't see that one.
And Winona Ryder.
Is that the one where fucking what's-her-face gave birth to an alien?
Where they cloned Ripley and she's like part alien for some reason.
And she has sex with an alien and gives birth to the alien?
Like the weird like white chocolate covered skeleton alien.
Yeah. No, I never saw that one.
Don't get me wrong, it's not good. But it's not terrible either. Like, it's not as bad as Alien 3.
You are probably the only person I've ever heard have that sentiment about it.
I thought Alien 3 was garbage.
I've never seen it. I've heard it was bad, but I never watched it.
No, it's utter garbage.
And then I think I've seen... Did I say Aliens vs. Predator?
Yeah.
Okay. And I saw Prometheus, if you count that as an Aliens movie,
Well, it
which...
takes place in the same universe, so I guess it counts. Oh wait, I'm locked. That's why I'm having trouble here. I'm locked onto the fucking station still.
Good lord, was that a bad movie.
Prometheus?
Yeah. I did not like that movie. I was bored. Which is weird because, like, I've seen movies like it and not been bored. So, what is the worst movie you've ever seen?
The worst movie.
And
now,
you can take.
How
you
do
can
we
take
how
that.
do we want to limit this? Do we want to limit this to like actual like big production movies, like ones that were supposed to be good, or like just any movie you've ever seen ever?
Okay, my limit on it is going to be this. What is the worst movie you intended to watch? I don't know. You could just throw out a couple different categories and their specific answers.
The worst movie I've ever seen, like, at all, it's not something you'd expect to be good. It's like a shitty, like, low-budget movie that was, like, made... It wasn't made to be garbage, but it pretty much was garbage.
Yeah.
And that movie is Day of the Dead Contagion. First of all, one thing that makes it bad is it's not a Romero movie. They just took the name Day of the Dead and made it sound like a sequel to Day of the Dead because they're assholes.
Well, isn't there like a licensing problem with that?
I don't know, but it made it out on DVD and it was in fucking stores for rent for a long time. Like it was like when like I saw it back when Hollywood Video was still open and we went and rented it.
Ugh.
Like the zombie virus was like the vials the zombie virus were kept in looked like fucking tampon applicators, and like there were guns that didn't have like gun props that didn't have triggers, and like they just made sound effects. There was no like muzzle flash or anything. And there was this line where these two people are watching this movie called Frankenhose, and the dude just looks at the other dude and goes, Frankenhose, and
Oh, man.
it was fucking terrible. Now, the worst big budget movie I've ever seen, and I actually rage. This is the only movie I've ever rage quit, which I think I talked about before on here. Was the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie.
Yeah.
Like I actively could not watch any more of that movie. Day of the Dead Contagion. I kept watching. Me and Jay kept watching it just because it was weird and stupid.
So, I'll answer the same way.
The worst movie I've ever seen that wasn't like big budget. It was so. It's like funny because I have two answers for this one. There are movies that are so bad that you just can't turn away, and then there's a movie that is just so horrifically bad that you just have to shut it off. So the movie, the low budget movie that I saw that was like, good lord, awful, but I couldn't stop watching it. I forget what it was called, but it was a movie that while I was with a couple friends, we found it on Netflix because we were looking for a bad movie. And the premise of the movie was this. This guy approaches this like shifty guy approaches these three guys on a basketball court. One's like a loser, the other one's like a nice guy that never gets girls, and the other one's like an insecure like ex-veteran who had his ass shot off in Afghanistan. That's like a legitimate thing. He like is missing part of his ass.
Okay.
And the guy gives them a shirt that it's known as like the movie was called Chick Magnet. I remember now. And the shirt is supposed to have magical properties. It was like worn by the philosopher that wrote the Kama Sutra. And like when you wear the shirt, it's supposed to give you magical powers, and girls just like can't resist you.
So this is a porno, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
That's weird. That sounds like the premise for a porno.
It was on Netflix, I promise you. I can't believe it's still on Netflix. But it was horribly edited, and it's just like all these like just various things of these guys like wearing the shirt and girls chasing them down the street and stuff. And it was so weird and stupid, and it was just like so bad it was funny to watch because you're just like, am I seriously watching this?
Yeah, that's how me and Jay felt like when we were watching Day of the Dead Contagion.
Then I think the worst movie I ever saw that like made me just like want to shut it off that wasn't like a big blockbuster was like this one movie, I forget what it was called because I like literally just sat down and my girlfriend at the time was watching it and she was just like, come watch this movie with me, and I sat there for about like 15 minutes. And all I remember was, it looked like a movie that was trying to like rip off Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay.
But it wasn't very good at it. So it was just like a guy trying to be Tim Curry from the movie.
Yeah.
Like, and he was in drag, but like his dick was actually just hanging out.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the movie now, but I just remember like after like 10 minutes of it, I left because I just could not stand to sit there anymore. And the worst big budget movie I've ever seen was Movie 43. That
Oh, I've seen that before. Because fucking what's like it was somewhat recently. It was while we were still living at South Point, and we had people. We were having large groups of friends over every week, and I think it was Rhiannon suggested that we watch movie 43, and like everybody piled on the fucking couch and shit and started watching it, and I'm like, screw this. This movie looks like garbage right off the bat. I'm gonna go play Terraria. Fuck you. And I just sat there playing Terraria while they watched this dumbass movie.
it was so bad. It really was. It was just not very good. The second worst movie I ever saw was I made the mistake of watching the live action Dragon Ball Z movie.
Oh, you poor soul.
Yeah, like I knew it was bad, so I was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a good laugh over this."
Oh,
And
you
then
poor
I just
soul.
like, it wasn't even funny.
It's so weird because you look at that and like fucking James Marsters and Chow Yun Fat are in it. It's like, how? Why was Gohan older than Roshi? Why this? Why that? Where the fuck is Krillin? So much weird wrong. It's like it's up there with the Avatar movie, where it's like they tried as hard as they could to make it unlikable.
Yeah, but I think, unlike the Avatar movie where people actually went to watch it and then realized it was bad, I don't think anybody, literally anybody, who saw the trailers of that movie thought this might be pretty good.
No, you know what the bad part about the Dragon Ball movie is? Akira Toriyama like tried to help them make the movie, and they told him to piss off.
We want to do it ourselves. Nimbus is going to be a car.
Like they rejected Akira Toriyama, like the creator of Dragon Ball. That's like, no. Did I ever tell you about the original screenplay for the Resident Evil movie?
I did not. You did not.
The original idea for the Resident Evil movie was done by George Romero. Like Romero was gonna make an adaptation of the first Resident Evil game as a movie. Like it wasn't going to be like spot on accurate. Like Chris wasn't going to be a member of STARS. He was going to be a farmer that lived in the area of the mansion and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it kept to the general formula of the of Resident Evil. Like it was going to take place in the mansion. Like and it was going to be the STARS team going in to find Bravo team. Like it was like, aside from Chris being a farmer, it sounded like it was going to be perfectly spot on, and it was going to have like the hunters and shit in it and whatnot. They rejected that. Like, I want like freaking like Rick's portal gun from Rick and Morty, so I can just go visit that dimension for the dimension where that happened for a day, just so I can watch that movie.
So I guess that's another interesting question we can talk about. What is your most what is the movie that was like most heartbreaking for you?
Heartbreaking? Define heartbreaking.
Like, so while while The Last Bender, I guess, Airbender, because it wasn't actually called the Avatar, while that one was like the most like worst movie you've ever seen, what was the most heartbreaking movie? Like the movie that had so much potential that just got flushed down the toilet and just ruined it for
probably still Avatar, to be perfectly honest. Well, I mean, The Last Airbender. Or, yeah, I can't think of anything else. Like, like, that's the most disappointed I remember ever being at a movie. Alright, how about this? What do you think is the most mediocre, like, pick a movie franchise you really like. What is absolutely the worst movie in it? Like, the one that let you down the most.
Oh
wait, I do have a better answer to the heartbreaking question.
Sure, shoot.
Starship Troopers 3.
There's a third?
Yeah, and the dude who played Johnny Rico's in it too. and it is woeful. Like you could tell this, like they had no budget for special effects in that movie. It was sad. Like it was really depressing to watch.
That doesn't sound very good now.
I was legitimately depressed because I loved the first Starship Troopers movie, and for some reason every sequel to Starship Troopers is just complete balls.
Kind of like Jurassic Park.
No. Jurassic Park 3 is kind of garbage, but I'll still accept Lost World as a good movie. Or a good enough movie.
Okay.
And Jurassic World I actually really liked.
I don't really consider that, as weird as it sounds, I consider it like a different thing.
It's its own series.
Yeah, kind of like how the prequels are kind of their own thing from the originals.
Yeah, and like how the new movies kind of are.
Yeah. They're all kind of their own thing. But for... Like, I don't know, like... I'm having trouble thinking of, like, franchises.
By the way, we're in Maya now.
Sweet! So bright. Like, what are some like movie franchises?
Well, think of ones that you like Terminator, Alien.
I guess okay. Terminator. I mean, there's. What was the one that came out? Genesis.
Yeah.
That one was terrible.
Okay, now I have a counterpoint to that. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! We're like burning up. I'm flying away from the star, you jackass! Cool down.
Literally.
There we go. Thank you. Fucking cargo hatch malfunctioned and shit. Now I gotta go get repairs. Anywho. I'm not even flying towards what we're locked onto. There we go. I'm gonna offer a counterpoint to that, because don't get me wrong, Genesis was bad. The first half of Genesis, though, felt like a Terminator movie.
It had a lot of potential. Like, I felt
offer
like this
that-
is actually building to something sweet.
I offer that 3 was worse, just because the entire movie was just sheer, unadulterated mediocrity.
3's worse than the first half of Genesis?
No, 3
I
is
can
worse than Genesis as a whole.
Oh, I don't think so.
The second
think
half, don't get me
they're-
wrong, the second half of Genesis is bad.
I think...
But 3 is just fucking poopy.
Yeah, 3's not like the best. But like... The first 2 are just so good.
And don't even get me started on Salvation.
I don't even know which one Salvation is.
It was the one that actually took place in the future when the machines rule the world, and it had Christian Bale in it.
Oh, yeah.
And it uses the Terminator 3 timeline, which makes me automatically hate it.
Get off my fucking set!
No, it makes me automatically hate it on 2 levels, because 1, I've always wanted a Terminator movie that takes place in the future when machines rule the world. And 2, I hate Terminator 3 for what it did for the alterations to the timeline. And it takes place in the alternate future that Terminator 3 created. And it's not the future that was shown to us in Terminator 1 and 2. Because I wanted a movie that took place in that version of the future. So I thought that would have been amazing. Like, show us how
Okay, yeah.
John Connor like founded the Resistance and stuff like that. That's like my dream Terminator movie.
I'm gonna do a little devil's advocate here. And I just forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I actually don't think the Back to the Future third part is that bad. I actually like it.
I don't have anything against Back to the Future 3.
A lot of people just think it's awful, and
No.
I don't think it's that bad.
One thing I've noticed is that people really hate Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't really like it, even when it came out.
I didn't think it was. It's not as good as the first one, but I didn't think it was that bad. Like, legitimately, like worthy of ire bad. It was just not as good. That's just how I feel about it. But
Yeah, I mean, like when Hangover 2 came out, like it drew a lot of similar comparisons. I don't think that's fair to Ghostbusters 2 because I actually enjoyed Ghostbusters 2.
yeah, me too.
It's
Like I
just
didn't
yeah,
think it was bad.
it's nowhere near as awful as Hangover 2, but it's nowhere near as good as the first Ghostbusters.
Have you ever seen the original, the first Starship Troopers movie?
Yeah, I've seen the first and the second one.
Oh, the second one. Oh, don't get me wrong. Started on the second one. That one was bad. Because
I honestly didn't even know there was a third one, so.
I went into the second one because I was like, okay, there's gonna be more of the first one. We're gonna see like big bad, like Marines like running in against big bad like giant bugs and shit. And it's just the entire movie is just them locked in like a base during a sandstorm while some weird like parasite bug kills them all off.
Let's go through some more movie genres and try to.
This is actually really fun because I've been getting really into film. Like I was actually thinking about taking a couple film classes at school. Something that's not like weird and like over the top or like my normal genres. In my theater class that I just finished this week, we watched the theatrical. Well, it was not theatrical, but it was like a filmed version of Miss Julie. It was really actually good. I don't really go into like romantic drama at all.
Yeah.
Do you know about Miss Julie?
I do not know anything about Miss Julie. I've never heard of it.
It was a
before.
play. No, I don't know all the history behind the play, but it was a play about like challenging classes, like back in like the olden times, and like it's about this count, the daughter of a count named Miss Julie, who has a thing for a servant, a male servant, in her father's mansion, and I'm gonna like fuck this up. But like he's engaged to one of the other servant girls, and like, but she her favorite thing to do is go in the back in the kitchen where he's at and like tease him and like try and like get him to fuck her or whatever. And like they eventually do fuck, and it's just like she's like, I'm the daughter of a countess. Why did I do this? I'm going to fall from my pedestal, and it. Shit, this is too much for me to explain right now. I'm trying to do spaceship things too. But it was really good. I liked it.
Interesting.
I butchered that completely, and I feel like a dum-dum now.
You know, a movie I don't hate. I don't hate the the mid '90s interpretation of Hamlet. I thought that one was pretty good.
I've never seen it. I don't know what year it was made, but there's this theatrical version of. If I had to take a guess, it'd probably be like 70s. But this theatrical version of Romeo and Juliet that we watched for a class back in middle school that I actually thought was really good. And it was my introduction to Shakespeare.
Probably way better than the one that came out in like 1999 or something.
Oh, the one with Leonardo DiCaprio?
The like modern day one.
The one that was like West Side Story without being West Side Story?
I mean, Romeo and Juliet's kind of like West Side Story, but...
Well, yeah, West Side Story is just like a modern interpretation of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, and there's still Ho grab my sword, and she hands him like a shotgun while they're in their limo.
Now I haven't like read it or like watched anything for it in a long time, so I can't remember a lot about it. But I remember really liking Macbeth.
Yeah, Mom says the same thing. She says Macbeth is really good.
Yeah, I remember I told Mom that I really liked Macbeth, and she was really happy about that.
I don't know. I'm not super huge on Shakespeare. I really like Hamlet. I think Hamlet's a good story.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Okay. I'll be here, entertaining the crowd. Welcome, everybody. Here I am with the Nick by himself hour. I don't have actually anything to say this time. I'm gonna sit here and think.
I could hear you like chattering away. What are you talking about?
Just my usual chatter while you're gone.
Okay, probably like telling everybody how much bag or some shit. All right.
No, I usually just talk. I just say random things.
All right,
I make
let's see what we got
conversation
here.
with the empty air.
Let's make some money. Although, I very vaguely remember this, but I remember back in the day in high school we did this project where we compared. For some reason, we compared Macbeth to what's it called, Beowulf. And like everybody in my class was like, Beowulf is amazing, but it's like it's way better than Macbeth. I'm like, no.
Beowulf. Granted, I read like the ye old Beowulf. Like, it was translated enough that it was English, but it wasn't translated well enough that it was understandable.
Oh, that is
Boy,
way
was
too
it
far.
brutal. And then we watched excerpts of the really shitty CG movie that came out.
Oh,
That was like,
the Angelina Jolie for some reason is Grendel's mother.
yeah.
This is like, okay. Okay, let's see. Open galaxy map. What?
While you were gone, I was reading something. And anytime the quote, we ask them politely yet firmly to leave comes up, I just lose my shit. What if they ask for well done? We ask them politely yet firmly to leave. God, that show doesn't get enough love.
King of the Hill.
Yeah. It was really good for not, like, making me laugh out loud. It was just good at making me chuckle enough that I really enjoyed it.
So I learned something somewhat recently because me and another one of our mutual friends got in a debate whether or not what came first, Mobile Suit Gundam or Macross, or which you would probably know better as Robotech.
I'm gonna guess Robotech.
No. And when I went to go look this up, I found out that Mobile Suit Gundam in fact created the real robot genre of anime.
Interesting.
Because you know that I know I've explained the difference between real robot and super robot to you before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mobile Suit Gundam was the progenitor of real robot. For how much of a Mobile Suit Gundam fan I am, I did not know that. I know it was like I just knew that it was like one of the original and one of the like widely considered the best. Because if you look at pretty much any mecha anime, there's so many tropes from Gundam that get reused. Oh, I had an idea for a YouTube thing that I wanted to try.
Yeah, what was it?
I wanted to see how you felt about it. Because I got this inspiration. I was rewatching like a bunch of old MST3Ks. And I was watching the one for Megalon versus for Godzilla versus Megalon. And I had this idea for a series where we take specifically just the fight scenes from all kinds of different like old Japanese kaiju movies and commentate on them like it's a wrestling match. In like a comedic
I can do that.
fashion.
I can do that. That sounds fun.
But not like improv style. Like I'd want to like actually like watch the fight scenes a few times and like actually write material for it.
Yeah, script it out.
Yeah. And like actually put like a lot of editing work into it.
I can get behind that.
Like, I wanted to see how you felt about it because I was gonna pitch the same idea to Jay and Ray and see what they thought. Because oh my god, if we could get Ray on board with that. Whoa.
So I was looking up, because you asked me a question and we actually never answered any of them.
I was looking up like the greatest film series franchises of all time, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because you asked me like what is like of like some of your favorite film franchises, what's like your least favorite movie, like what's the worst. So I looked it up, and can you guess what the greatest selling film series franchise of all time is?
Well, the fact that you're asking this makes me think that my best guess would be wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and say Star Wars.
Star Wars is third or second, depending on how you count it. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has now officially passed it by about 600 million.
Huh.
And
Well, it's because it has way more movie entries so far.
yeah, 5 more movies.
And you're getting like we're getting at least 2 or 3 Marvel movies a year now.
Yeah. And it came out in 2 completely different eras. Technically, if you count it as a franchise, and they even have like a little qualifier about this, the Pixar Disney animation franchise is first.
So what personally do you think is the weakest entry in the MCU so far?
Iron Man 3. That was pretty easy.
I haven't seen Iron Man 3 yet.
It was like not Iron Man. It was really boring. It was like,
I heard the Mandarin isn't the Mandarin, shit like that.
yeah, I always didn't really like Pepper. There was like this weird psychic kid. It was boring.
That and they tried making a weird reference to Iron Patriot with War Machine.
Yeah, it was just was not a fan.
So I mean, that makes me really sad because I'd really like to see an MCU movie where Iron Patriot is actually in it. Although with the Spider-Man franchise now actually part of the MCU, that might somewhat be possible. Because you know
This
what
makes
you know
me
what the Iron
sad.
Patriot is, right?
Yeah. In the movie, it was that Don Cheadle thing, but in the actual comic, it was his like own thing created by Tony Stark, right?
No, the Iron Patriot was part of a comic book arc called The Dark Reign, where basically villains had won. What's his name? Norman Osborn controlled Shield, and he formed what became known as the Dark Avengers. So it was like the Avengers, but except it was a bunch of villains posing as the Avengers. So you had Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, as Iron Man, and then you had Venom as Spider-Man, Ares as Thor, and there are a few others. I can't. Oh, and Wolverine's son Daken as Wolverine. Just think of that for a second. The Green Goblin, flying around in an Iron Man suit.
I want to play a little game with you. I'm gonna name 4 franchises, and I want you to tell me which is the highest selling of them.
Okay.
There's the Star Trek franchise,
Okay.
the Jurassic Park franchise, that's including Jurassic World,
Okay.
the Twilight Saga,
Okay.
or Shrek.
I'm gonna say either Shrek or Twilight.
It is Shrek. It goes Shrek, Jurassic Park, Star Trek, and then Twilight. Shrek sold more.
'Cause I knew it was gonna be one of the disappointing sounding ones.
Shrek sold about $20 billion more dollars, or $20 million more dollars than all 13 Star Trek movies.
Also, check this out. Look at that sky.
It's beautiful. This game is beautiful. Always is. Alright. I have a good answer to your question you asked me earlier.
Your least,
One of my-
the most disappointing movie in a franchise.
Yeah. One of my favorite movies of all time is Men in Black.
Okay.
Like, who doesn't love Men in Black? It's such a good movie.
Yeah, the original
Men in Black
is
2.
really good.
Men in Black 2 is okay. Nowhere near as good, but it's okay. It's watchable. The third one's just awful.
I don't remember seeing the third one. I don't think I ever saw it.
I mean, one of the biggest problems for me is I'm not a huge Josh Brolin fan. Uh, I mean, it's like an okay movie, but like it just does not live up to the original. Really doesn't.
I wonder if I have an SRV on this ship. Oh, these people all look dead inside.
They're all dead inside.
You know, like look at this. Let me see. Let me scroll through some of these people. Like, there's no life behind those eyes. Does anybody have a good mission for me to do? Deliver units of explosives to where? Wow, everybody wants me to go like 17 jumps, like outside of the system.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What the? That's a movie?
What?
Alien vs. Predator Requiem.
Oh yeah, that was the one with the Predalien. That was weird.
I have never heard of that movie ever.
No, that was like weird, like fetishy fanfiction-y. Like, okay, so the Predalien, which, as you imagine, is it because it expands on the twist ending of the first Alien vs. Predator, where it turns out the Predator had an alien in him the whole time. The Predalien escapes, kills all the Predators on that ship, and goes down to Earth. Okay. And it's like it's big and bulky. It has like Predator dreadlocks and like the weird jaw thingies going on.
Mm-hmm.
But it has a new trick up its sleeve. For some reason, it likes to ambush specifically women and shove its tongue down their throat and pump them full of babies.
Okay, we're no longer talking about that.
And there's specifically a scene where where the predator sent to hunt it down has it cornered in a hospital, and it goes to a maternity ward and does that to a bunch of pregnant women.
No longer talking about that.
Yeah.
All right. You are directing a movie, and it's a comedy. Who you can have anyone star in the movie. Who would it be?
Are we talking alive or dead or just alive?
Anybody that ever lived.
Fuck.
I want Hitler and Genghis Khan to be in a slapstick comedy.
No, I'm keeping it to actors. See, I kind of like when they get like a serious deadpan actor to do like comedic stuff. So it'd probably fall back onto the whole like people I'd want to narrate my life. 'Cause I'd love to see like a comedy with like a really serious British actor like John Hurt or like Patrick Stewart. So that's like my only selling point that gets me to watch American Dad is them getting Patrick Stewart to say a bunch of like stupid shit.
That is a pretty good one.
So it'd be something on that along that line. Like I can't really like come up with like specifics on the fly. I'd definitely throw in a Bill Murray cameo somewhere because Bill Murray's just funny as shit.
I would love to do a parody movie and have Leslie Nielsen star in it. Because he's the like king of parody.
Oh, and he is like the master of like deadpan delivery too.
Leslie, like, all three of the Naked Gun movies kill me, and Airplane's perfect. Like,
No, every time I still watch Airplane and get like the fucking wind knocked out of me by how hard I'm laughing. Airplane is easily one of the funniest movies of all time.
it surely is. It's funny because, like, where... You know how there's, like... At least when I think of, like, Leslie Nielsen, like, so many people knew, like, Leslie Nielsen, right? It's not like he was an unknown actor. He was beloved by many. But there's just, like... For whatever reason, I just feel like even though he's beloved by many, he was still underappreciated as just with his timing and his just, like you said, his deadpan to it.
Yeah, I love deadpan comedy. It's easily it's an easy mark for me. I'm an easy mark for it. Like I based one of my characters that I've played in a role playing game off of my love of deadpan comedy. And I actually did pretty good. I got a bunch of laughs out of it because I played a really deadpan Russian, like ex Spetsnaz Russian guy. And I I pulled off a few jokes really well and got a bunch of laughs, and I was really happy with it.
Pretty sweet.
Huh. All right, let's see. Here's what here's what we're gonna do. Because I can't find any interesting jobs to go do. Instead, we're gonna go take a ride. I just bought an SRV specifically for us to ride around on this planet and go have a fun little road trip.
Is this ride on the wild side, perchance?
Yes. Oh, check that out with the brown dwarf up like above the horizon. I'll get the menu out of the way.
That is really sweet.
Alright, so let's go for a little road trip. 'Cause I don't do enough SRV stuff in this. I want to actually ride around and see if I find anything interesting. What would you say your absolute favorite movie of all time is? Huh?
There's only one answer for me.
What?
And it's The Yellow Submarine. It's my favorite movie of all time. It's the movie I've seen the most. It's the movie I quote the most. I still watch it on every usually once a month or twice a month or something like that. It's my favorite movie, without a doubt.
See, I'm hard pressed to actually pick a favorite. To be perfectly honest.
Like my favorite non.
Oh, well, we're in a no fire zone? Okay. I'll go further.
My favorite non-Yellow Submarine movie is either I really like Memento. That's definitely one of them. Airplane.
See, yeah, I have to divide it up into genres.
Yeah.
My favorite comedy movie is easily Airplane. Drop of the hat, easy right there. I know one of my favorites. I don't know where I'd want to put it category wise. One of my favorites is the first Jaws, just because it is absolutely a masterpiece of pacing and suspense.
Real talk, I've actually never seen the original Jaws or
Holy
any of the
shit.
Jaws sequels.
Well, fuck the Jaws sequels. They're literally all garbage. You need to see the first Jaws. The first Jaws is perfect. It is one of it is almost the perfect movie. It's one of those movies you grow up seeing all the jokes and stuff parodying it, and it's just it's probably just some silly monster movie that people liked, and then you watch it and it's actually a really, really good, well done movie. I actually read the novel it was based on recently. Because I didn't know that. I until I started working at the library at CCAC, I didn't know Jaws was originally a book.
I didn't either.
Yeah, by Peter Benchley. He actually had a cameo in the movie as a news reporter. He actually helped write the screenplay too. And the book was really good too.
Interesting.
But the thing is, a lot of my favorites, because I don't watch a lot of I don't know how to say better way to put this, serious movies. I've never watched like some of the movies that are widely regarded as some of the best of all time, like Casablanca or Citizen Kane.
Yeah, I've seen Citizen Kane. It's an okay movie. I'm not super old school film person. I tend to prefer modern films more.
I'm kind of getting into old film. I kind of want to. I've heard. Okay, so the one librarian I have a tendency to chat with a lot at the library she's real into film, and she was talking to me about how German expressionist films inspired a lot of like modern film and like have great visuals and stuff like that. So I kind of want to watch some old German expressionist films, just to see what they're like.
Mm-hmm.
But like all of my favorite movies are all like kind of typical things that you'd pick. Like I said, Jaws, Jurassic Park. The original Jurassic Park is another big favorite of mine. Like I could watch that movie over and over and over again. And not just because I'm a Godzilla fan. The original Godzilla is legitimately a great movie. Like I feel like it's like one of the greatest movies ever made. Well, not that's probably a little strong.
So, I mean, like
It's
that's one
definitely
of those.
required watching if you like
Okay.
movies. But specifically the original Japanese version, not the Americanized version where they spliced in a bunch of American actors.
I'm just So, like, that is a really good movie. I didn't think it'd be that high.
What?
So
What?
I just looked up like America Film Institute's 100 greatest movies, and they're like the 100 movies that if you ever like truly care about like becoming a film critic or whatever, it's like the ones that they say like every like person who wants to have a legitimate like influential opinion on movies should watch. And like there's of course like Citizen Kane's 1, Casablanca's 2, The Godfather's 3, and I really enjoy The Godfather. I think it's a good movie.
That's another one of like the widely regarded movies that I've never actually watched. Well, because it's not my genre.
I've never seen Gone with the Wind. I've never really been interested in it. I've never seen Lawrence of Arabia either, but I've heard good things about it. Wizard of Oz, The Graduate, On the Waterfront.
Who hasn't seen Wizard of Oz?
Oh, I don't think anybody. Schindler's List is 9. That's
a movie because I like World War II and I like that era of history. So I've never watched Schindler's List, but I'd watch it.
It's a really good movie. I watched it in a class, and it's like it's a really good movie. It has a lot of praise, and I think a lot of it's well deserved. It's actually really funny. I'm about to drop a little bit of trivia on you. Number 11 is It's a Wonderful Life, and that is actually my dad's favorite movie of all time.
It's a Wonderful Life. That's familiar. Is that the Rosebud movie?
No, Rosebud Citizen Kane.
Oh wait, yeah, that's Citizen Kane. I'm getting my movies mixed up now.
It's a Wonderful Life is the Christmas movie.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Where the guy like jumps off a bridge and an angel comes and saves him, and they show him his life without, if he'd never been born, and how awful the town would be, and then he runs back home and like visits his family again at the end. That one's. It is. I remember my dad talking about it because he watches it. They always showed it like Christmas Eve or like Christmas Day or whatever. They showed it around Christmas every year, and I know that my dad always sits down and watches it, and that's big praise because my dad hates rewatching movies a lot. But it's like his favorite movie, so that's a cool one.
So are any of the movies I mentioned on that list? I know Jaws has to be.
Jaws is 48th.
I thought so.
I
imagine the original King Kong is on there.
I'll scroll through and I'll name some notable ones. Star Wars is 15. The original Star Wars.
Huh. I didn't expect. I knew Star Wars was going to be on the list. I didn't think it was that high.
Psycho is 18, and Psycho is a really good movie. 2001: A Space Odyssey is 22.
That's something I've been meaning to watch for a long time.
That seems pretty high. The original E.T. is 25. I don't think the original E.T. is that good of a movie, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's actually on the list. Like, it's a good movie. I didn't think it was that good.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, I'm not a huge... Not like a big person.
See,
It
the thing
beats
is, a lot
out...
of this is subject to opinion.
Yeah, I mean, all of it's subject to opinion. This is just like... I mean, this is kind of like... I've seen a bunch of lists like this of basically, like, the most high-voted movies. And this is kind of like an aggregate of, like, people's opinions and stuff. I mean, hey, I mean, it's... Maybe it's one of those movies that, like, I haven't seen it in about a decade and a half. I haven't seen that since, like, I was a kid. So maybe if I rewatched it, it'd be better. But I remember just not really, like liking it as a kid, but I remember it was kind of boring.
I
don't
don't know. Here's a dumb question. I doubt it is, but I just want my curiosity sated. Is the original Godzilla on there?
Let me take a look.
It might be under the name Gojira. Because the original Godzilla movie isn't. It's not. It's more than just a silly monster movie. It's an actual glimpse at like the mindset of 50s Japan. And, like,
It is not on here.
I didn't think so, but and like them coping with like the aftermath of the bomb and stuff.
You know, movie's actually really good. To Kill a Mockingbird. I really like the movie of it, and it's 34.
So I'm starting to get embarrassed about how many of these movies I haven't watched.
The 1933 King Kong is 43rd.
Oh, King Kong! Of course, King Kong's on there. That's a great.
46 is A Clockwork Orange. I really like that. I really enjoy Clockwork Orange.
No big surprise that there's multiple Stanley Kubrick movies on there. Is Jurassic Park on the list? That has to be. Because it was really groundbreaking.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. Another movie I can watch over and over again is the original Night of the Living Dead.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
The way Romero paced it was just perfect.
Amadeus is 53. MASH is 56. Raiders of the Lost Ark is 60.
Oh yeah, those are all right. What do you think is, like, not counting Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, out of the original three? What do you think is the worst Indiana Jones?
Ooh.
My vote is Temple of Doom.
That's the second one, right?
Yeah,
Because Last Crusade's the third one.
yeah. Last Crusade is my favorite, just because all
I
the
think-
banter between Harrison Ford and Sean Connery is just perfect.
Yeah, I think Last Crusade's my favorite. I probably would agree with you. Temple of Doom's probably the weakest, but it's like not a bad movie. It's just like the weakest because the first and the third are just the best.
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs is on here. I've actually watched that. It's actually a pretty decent movie.
Well, I'm starting to actually really get for loving movies as much as I do. I'm starting to get really embarrassed for not having watched a lot of these.
Uh,
Like, I feel like I have no
Forrest-
right to talk about movies now.
Forrest Gump is on here at 71.
I've seen Gump. Gump's a good movie.
Yeah, Gump's a good movie. Rocky is 78.
I've never seen the original Rocky. I've only ever seen fucking Rocky 4.
Rockies 1, 2, and 4 are all really good. 3 is okay.
I don't
It's
know,
memorable.
4?
It's memorable because Mr. T is actually pretty good. Plays pretty decent, and the death of Mickey was like pretty well done. And then the rest just.
But 4 though, with like
Yeah.
like the anti-Cold War thing and Ivan Drago and the robot. That was just out of nowhere. Although I did see Rocky Balboa, like when they started doing like the modern one they did recently before Creed.
I actually haven't seen that one.
That was actually kind of an interesting take because Like Rocky was like just like old and like kind of retired and like out of it. And it had this overall theme of things not being anywhere near as great as they used to be.
Hmm.
It had
Number
this, like, this
95
really
is Pulp
somber-
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. That is a good movie.
That is a really good movie.
Just doing donuts on the surface of this planet now. I don't even know what direction to go in to get back to the ship. I'm gonna drive and hope I find something.
Some interesting things about this. I think you'll enjoy these statistics. So which director do you think has the most?
The most entries on the list.
Yeah, which director do you think has the most entries?
See, the thing is, I don't know all the great directors by name.
This is one you do know.
I'm gonna take a guess and say either Spielberg or Kubrick.
It is Spielberg. Spielberg has 5, with Schindler's List, E.T., Jaws, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I've seen all of those except for Jaws and Close Encounters. Then there's Alfred Hitchcock and Billy Wilder that have 4 films on the list. And then 10 directors have 3 each, with Frank Capra, Francis Ford Coppola, Stanley Kubrick, John Huston, or Houston, I've never known how to pronounce his name, John Ford, Charlie Chaplin, Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, I was gonna say if those weren't if my 2 guesses weren't right, my next 2 were Coppola or Scorsese.
And Marlon Brando is the only actor to star in 2 of the top 10 films, as he was a part of both The Godfather and On the Waterfront.
Interesting. But yeah, I really recommend the original Jaws. Like, I think it's usually always on Netflix, so if you have access to Netflix, watch that shit later. It's a really good movie. And it doesn't deviate from the book too much. Like, it gets rid of this subplot where Brody's wife cheats on him with the scientist dude, but that wasn't really required anyway.
Yeah. So now I'm looking at the IMDb top-rated movies. This is like user ratings.
Okay, so this is going to be a lot different.
Yeah, this is far different because this is users rather than like filmmakers and stuff.
I'm betting that Jurassic Park is on this list.
Well, it's 250 movies. I would find it very hard to believe that it wouldn't make it there. Especially since in 247 is Zootopia. So I have
Also,
to
fun
imagine.
fact, if you go on IMDb and search his name, my theater instructor actually shows up on IMDb. He's worked on a few movies.
Interesting.
Yeah, George Shaver.
So here's a good question. What would you think is the highest rated movie, 250 movies, highest rated movie by all of IMDb's users? I will give you a hint. It is not a movie we have mentioned so far. It wasn't
I have no guesses then.
The Shawshank Redemption.
Ah,
It is ranked 9.22, and The Godfather is ranked 9.2.
yeah. You know what? For as much as I love the franchise, you know what movie I've never saw?
What's that?
Alien.
The original?
Yeah, I've never seen the original. I've seen like documentaries on it and stuff, but I've never actually sat and watched the movie.
Alright, just looking at this list of movies is hurting my head already.
What are some of the worst you've seen?
They
There's
have...
There's a lot of nothing on this planet, by the way.
Yeah, I've noticed. So, 10 is Fight Club.
I could see that. Fight Club was a really good movie.
I don't know. I mean, it's like always been one of those movies where...
Do you know the guy who directed Fight Club directed Alien 3?
Yeah. I don't know. I always have the problem with Fight Club that I just don't think it's. I think it's one of those like. I feel like Fight Club is. Fight Club is what. Fight Club is what like My Chemical Romance is to music to me.
That's weird. Okay.
Where it's like it's one of those things where people will live and die by it, but like just seems really superficial, you know?
Yeah. All right, I got a topic. What is the best movie you've seen outside of your usual genres? Well, I mean, first it would probably help to identify your usual movie genres. But what do you think is the best movie you've seen that's out of your element?
So my usual genres, I usually like a lot of I usually watch a lot of comedy or like stuff that does a lot of like suspense sort of stuff. I don't really quite know how to like define it, but I like movies with like a lot of things going on. I'm not like I used to be super big into action movies, but I kind of like fell off that train mostly because they just kind of turned really samey after a while.
Yeah, modern action movies aren't as great as they used to be.
Yeah, and like I'm so bored by like superhero movies because they're just all the same anymore.
I don't know, I just saw Doctor Strange the other night and I really liked it.
I feel like I don't know if it's my favorite. I'd have to think a little bit more about it. But I'm not like super big into like horror. Like I can watch a horror movie, it's whatever. But I was actually a real big fan of the original Saw movie.
That is not what I was expecting you to say. Damn.
And that's like not something I like. I'm not like the first Saw movie was actually like I watched it and I like didn't think I was gonna like it because I didn't watch it when it came out. I watched it like many years later after it was like 10 Saws or whatever. And it was actually like a good watch. I like really enjoyed it. I don't know if that's my answer, but that's like it's not a movie that I would normally be like super interested in, but I actually enjoyed it.
What else was I gonna say? I say my favorite movie that I've probably seen that's out of my element would probably be American History X.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good movie about like racism in America. I almost want to say that movie definitely said something that needed to be said. I guess would be a good way to describe it. You know me, I'm not really good at describing things, but
Yeah.
it felt like a necessary movie. Like I think more people should watch that movie. Then it was kind of weird to see the kid from Terminator 2 all grown up.
Kind of like going on the fact that I'm kind of like dissuaded from action movies anymore. I did really enjoy Saving Private Ryan.
I like Saving Private Ryan. That is a good movie.
Yeah, that one's really good.
I actually, since I saw the play recently, I want to see Fences. I thought that was a good movie. Like it had a lot of heart to it. Well, I thought it was a good play. I saw the play.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. I don't even know where the fucking shit I am. It's just been the same shit this entire time. I was hoping to find something.
Looks like they haven't done much to change things.
Or this is just not a good planet for finding shit.
Oh, you know a movie I could answer for this? It's not really my sort of movie, but Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was a really good movie. And it's not a movie that I normally would be super interested in, but that one was really sweet. I had a lot going for it.
Movie I've been really meaning to watch sometime soon is Dune. Huh. Then I really want to read the books, although I've heard the books for Dune are really dry. Like, it's going to be a really hard read. Then I'm currently working on finishing Ringworld by Larry Niven. Another old sci-fi book from the 70s. It's really good. I'm actually kind of amazed Ringworld hasn't been a movie yet.
Give me something where like they just don't want it to be.
Huh. I know there for a while there was going to be one, but it never got made. But it's really good, like kind of like old style sci-fi. I know it was partially an inspiration for Halo, because the concept of the ring world was reused and like kind of nodded to a lot. Like the actual books the actual book for Ringworld was nodded to a little bit in Halo. Because it's the same concept. It's a giant like ring that has like basically a planet on the inside of it. Except the ring world is a hell of a lot bigger than a Halo. Like the actual ring is about the same. It's the same diameter as Earth's orbit of the sun. And if you remember correctly, a halo just orbits a gas giant. It doesn't like surround it or anything.
Yeah.
And it's not particularly like I can't say the book is like particularly like profound. Like it doesn't have some grand message in it. It's just a good adventure story. It's about because it takes place in the distant future. It's about a 200-year-old human named Louis or Louis. I'm not sure which to call him by, but like Louis Wu, and a member of a race called the Puppeteers that hasn't been seen in civilized space in like I think like if I remember correctly like a century or two, called a Puppeteer. Contacts him about a mission to go on, like an exploration mission. Like he's one of like the people his race deemed as one of the prime candidates to send on this mission. Mm-hmm. And like it goes through like the whole like spiel of an adventure story where they gather up the motley crew and send them send them off to their little exploration mission. And it's like it has a lot of like old tropes in it, like for adventure tales, but it's a really fun, enjoyable story. I thought it has like a lot of really creative races, like the Puppeteers, and like there's another race in it called the Kazin, which are like they're kind of like Klingons, but if they were cat people.
So I got a topic we can go on here. We can go kind of back and forth with this. Overrated and underrated. What is like one or two movies you think are vastly overrated, and one or two movies you think are vastly underrated?
Overrated. I'm hard pressed to find an overrated movie, actually.
I have two. I can go first if you want.
Go ahead.
So my first is overrated. I think the original Matrix is overrated. I think
because like weird that you say that, because Matrix movies fall into my underrated.
I can kind of go split with that, right? So I think the first one is vastly overrated, and I think the next two are kind of underrated. Because like people will say like the first one's like this A+ movie, and the second two are like failures of a movie, never watch them. Whereas I think like the first one would probably be like a B- B movie, and then the other two are like C+ movies, C+. So like they're not as good, but I just people like rant about how good the Matrix is, and I just don't see it.
See, I kind of look at all the Matrix movies sort of equally. Like I thought I liked them. I enjoyed them all about the same. Granted, some of the mid-section of Reloaded is kind of boring. Like the parts where like a lot of the shit where they're just like not to sound like I'm like a meathead where I want like action happening every 4 seconds, but some of the midpoint of that movie's dialogue was just really just dry and like hard to listen to.
People like to harp on the whole Keanu Reeves is Jesus part, like Neo is Jesus. But and they're like, "Oh, that was such a stupid ending to the whole thing." And I'm like, "Man, the writing of the movie was never like."
It's a sci-fi movie. Like, what do you want? Like, it's
Yeah,
a sci-fi movie that like incorporates like philosophy and religion as its primary themes.
Yeah, like it was never gonna be the best well-written ending or movie. So I don't know. I just think the
Although-
first one is.
The machine leader thing he talks to at the end of the movie is actually called the Deus Ex Machina, which is kind of lame. But
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not saying that the second and third movie are better than the first, and I'm not saying that the first is a bad movie. I just like know a lot of people that like Matrix is like my favorite movie, and I'm like, man, that's saying something.
I will say Reloaded and Revolutions are by no means unwatchable.
I agree.
I watched. I actually really enjoyed Revolution. I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, the ending was kind of blah, but because it had some of my favorite. Because I have this weird thing, like with both Matrix and Terminator, where I'm more fascinated by like the apocalyptic future than I am by like the past in Terminator or the inside the Matrix bits in Matrix. Because I love sci-fi apocalypses, especially like the whole idea of the machine apocalypse. I think that is a fascinating thing that is not explored enough in movies and media. Like, I really like the idea of us building machines that get too smart and overthrow us.
Which is a real possibility.
Yeah. Because like, my favorite entry in the Matrix entire Matrix franchise isn't even one of the three movies. It's the second Renaissance, part 1 and 2, the entries of the Animatrix, where it actually shows the machine uprising.
I can see that. Those are
mainly
both pretty good.
Because the visuals in both of those were just fucking absurd. Like, there are some, like, for the first time around, there was some really shocking shit that they showed in that. Like, I remember, like, being, like, I wasn't the same after I watched the second Renaissance the first time. Like some of that shit was legitimately terrifying. I had nightmares for a week.
Okay, and my second underrated movie is Donnie Darko.
Never seen it.
I think Donnie Darko. It's one of those movies. Being you've never seen it, it's one of those movies that's like they call it a unreliable narrator movie,
Okay.
where like the main character is kind of always in this sort of state of you can't quite tell what exactly is going on, because like the main character has like a mental illness and all these weird things are happening, and it essentially it's one of those movies that gets so in depth and like twisted with what it means and what all is really actually happening, and like what essentially it's really a bunch of pretentious bullshit. To boil it down, it's a bunch of pretentious bullshit. You sit there, and no matter how many times you watch it, like anytime, if anyone ever tells you, I know what Donnie Darko means, and they come up with any answer other than the director was just trying to seem like he was super smart, they're wrong. Because the director went on to make more movies with like a similar sort of what's going on, you don't know, you have to watch it 15 different times to sort of get a meaning, and they're all bad. And it's like looking back at M. Night Shyamalan's movies, like when he first started, you're like, oh, you never know what's gonna happen. It's all just like this crazy, crazy twist, and then it's all a twist, and then now it's like not interesting at all.
So we're going to attempt to get our candy ass back to the ship. I locked onto the ship, so I know the direction we have to go. Or if we die, we'll teleport back there immediately. But I'd rather not break my shiny new SRV.
I would hope not. Let's not do that. So if you had to name some overrated movies, now that I've gone on my spiel.
Overrated. What do I have to? That's something I have to think on for overrated.
You said you have The Matrix as what you would consider underrated.
Yeah, the Matrix sequels. Like I think they're underrated. They're not by no means like great movies, but I don't think they're anywhere near as bad as people say they are.
Yeah.
And I think my other choice for underrated would probably be Ghostbusters 2. Which once again, not as good as the original, but nowhere near as bad as people make it out to be. Oh, I thought that was a lock on my ship. That is not a lock on my ship. Oh fuck. Oh, we're just gonna keep going in this direction and hope for the best.
My first underrated is a movie that I wish more people ever saw. It's called The Whackness. You've never heard of it.
No, this sounds familiar. I think I've heard of it.
I may have talked about it before, because I actually really enjoy the movie. It's a movie that stars Josh Peck from Drake and Josh.
Yeah, this is starting to sound really familiar.
And Sir Ben Kingsley.
I have heard of this, but not from you. Keep
interesting. And it's a movie about Josh. I forget his character's name. Is like a kid that's going through some hard times and starts turning to like sell drugs to make some money. And hold on one second, I have to reply to this message. It's actually important from my work.
Don't suppose we're getting any chat activity, are we?
No, I'm watching chat.
Okay. I don't think so. 'Cause I have full screen up, so I wouldn't know.
And he's Josh's character. What was his name? I think it was Luke or something. But Luke sells pot and he falls in love with this one girl, who turns out is the stepdaughter of his therapist, who's Ben Kingsley. And to get his therapy, he trades pot for the therapy. So he essentially deals to his therapist. And the story just talks about how the movie just talks about, like, you know, the fallout of all that, and like Ben Kingsley's stepdaughter like moving on to someone else, and Luke just like having trouble with all that. It's actually I actually really enjoy the movie.
Yeah, this does sound very familiar. I know I've talked to you about it before, but I know I've heard about it somewhere aside from you.
I just think it's a really like funny thing to imagine Josh selling pot to Gandhi.
See, now a movie I've never seen that I really want to watch is the original Dracula with Bela Lugosi. Just because I need to see the original Dracula, like that's what made vampire movies a thing, you know.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
Oh, you know,
I imagine
I actually have a choice for overrated.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that great of a movie. It's not like going to be some shocking thing that I'm going to say is overrated, but I'd say the Dawn of the Dead remake. Like, it was alright. But I don't think it was better than the original.
Yeah, I agree.
This is also me trying really, really hard to find something that I think is overrated. Because for some reason I can't. I'm trying to think of movies I didn't like, but the thing is, I just don't watch movies I don't like.
Um, the other movie that I think severely underrated is The House of D. It's a movie starring David Duchovny and Robin Williams, and essentially it's just like the story of David Duchovny's as a kid telling a story to somebody. I don't remember who he's.
I found my way back.
Yeah. After driving around an empty rock for
This feels like that scene at the end of Balto when he finally gets back to the town. He's like happily howling as he runs. I made it back. I didn't have to self-destruct the SRV. This is awesome. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but holy shit, I'm really happy with myself right now. So I figured I'd just put that brown dwarf behind me since we drove towards it initially and just see if we can get there.
That's pretty good.
Okay, you were saying about House of D.
Yeah, it's I think it's underrated. It's a movie about basically a kid named Tommy who's kind of like coming of age, and he's like his best friend is Robin Williams, who plays a janitor named Papas, and he's mentally retarded, and he kind of doesn't have like a great role model and stuff, and he's kind of like struggling through life. And he and Papas are saving up for a bike, and Papas doesn't really like think things through and steals the bike, and it leads to like him getting expelled and stuff because he tries to take the blame for it. And the reason why it's called House of D is because on the
By the way, I'd like to add that since I've reached the crest of that hill and saw the town, I've lost 20% integrity on the SRV. We might blow up before we get there.
I've watched you do a couple flips.
Not to keep interrupting you, but I felt like that needed to be said.
Yeah. But it's called House of D because there's a penitentiary for women, like right by like I think the school. And one day while he's walking past, he sees a woman holding like a broken mirror shard out the window to try to see the people on the ground because like there's bars and stuff.
Okay.
And he makes friends with her and she gives him advice and stuff on like how to like talk to girls and how to become an adult and stuff. It's like not a fantastic movie. There's a lot of like awkward writing at times, mostly because David Duchovny doesn't really know how to write.
So you're saying this movie is underrated or overrated?
I think it's underrated. I think it's a good movie. I'm not saying it's like the best movie in the world if anyone decides to watch it, but I'm saying I enjoyed it. I think it's a good movie. And
Okay.
it like gets panned a lot, mostly because David Duchovny is not a very good writer.
Okay, and for some reason that made me think of that reminded me of a movie that I actually do think is like extremely overrated and I fucking hate it. Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh yeah, Napoleon Dynamite's not a very good movie.
I thought that movie was garbage.
It's just not funny.
It's just ugh. I didn't like it at all. And people are like, "Oh, I love that movie."
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of stuff out there.
We're at 3% hull integrity.
Swear to God, if we blow up before you get in there, have you tried driving slower and not over things?
One of these days, when you're over here, I'm going to put you in an SRV and hand you the controller and let you try this. Because this thing handles like garbage. Because while we were out cruising around on the fucking infinite wastes, I spun out like 7 times. Just trying to go in a straight line. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the ship is through. To give you an idea, this is like driving a go-kart on a marble floor covered in butter in like less than Earth's gravity.
Um, that's a decent way to describe it, I suppose.
Like this is a lot harder than it looks. Stop it! Alright, I think my ship's over here. Why is my turret locking onto things? Stop locking onto things, turret. Would help if I knew where my ship was currently located. That's a Sidewinder. That's not my ship. That's Federal Security Service. That's not my ship. Hold on a fucking second here. I just gotta figure out where the hell. Where the hell is my ship? You know what? We're here. We made it.
We did it!
Mazel tov.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
There we go. It teleported me back to the ship. We're good. Let's
We're home!
go to Starport Services and buy a new SRV because I don't care anymore.
Everything is fixed! We saved the town!
There we go. Let's go to another point and drive around because that was actually kind of fun. Let's go to a planet where there actually is possibly something. Okay, so what's another topic? You have any? Oh God! Oh God! There we go.
Well,
Almost
being
went away.
that, we've spent
A large margin of time talking about two other media platforms. Why don't we talk about video games?
Oh yeah, the thing we're doing right now.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best game you've ever played? Like absolute hands down best. Genre transcending.
Yeah. I think about this a lot because I actually like making little mental lists of things. That's why like I knew straight out what my favorite movie was, and I can tell you like my favorite song of all time, my favorite band of all time. I like making mental lists of these sort of things because I think it's interesting to really sit down and compare. Today, and I've had this opinion for a very long time, my favorite game of all time is still probably always going to be Symphony of the Night.
How did I know you'd say that?
Because you've heard me say this before.
I think this is why we don't talk video games, because we're not talking video games right now, because we know each other's answers to everything. Because Symphony of the Night is also my answer to that question.
It's my favorite video game of all time.
It is the Citizen Kane of video games.
Yeah, in our opinion, you can write this one down. It is the Citizen Kane of video games.
I'm not even gonna.
But
no. I'm not. I'll be so bold as to say it's not even like this isn't my opinion. I think factually it is the best game ever made.
Oh, I agree. I've put more hours into that game than probably most humans. I'd say if there was like a list of the amount of hours put into the game, I'd probably be in the top 50.
let's check out another system in this region.
Sure, let's go for it. So past Symphony of the Night, where do you go?
Huh. So if I had to pick another like greatest game of all time,
Yeah. What's number 2 on your list?
see,
Number 1,
that's,
Symphony of
that's
the Night.
where I have to break it down into genres. Like genre, like not counting genres, the only game I can identify for certain is Symphony of the Night. Like best shooter I've ever played is, in my opinion, Halo 2. Well, I mean, from a story standpoint, like from like the single player mode. I think my favorite shooter of all time is Halo 2.
Mm-hmm.
Platformers, I'd have to go with Crash 2. Like I'm not gonna mention side scrollers because my answer again would be Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
Thinking. Where's a capital ship? Let's go see the big scary ship.
Let's do that.
Like we're about to go we're about to go fly near a battleship. And hopefully they're allied with me, because if they're not, they're probably going to shoot at me and immediately blow me up. Sorry, I'm a little distracted from the conversation because I'm about to make something visually interesting happen.
That's fine. I can take the helms here. So if I were to go with my second favorite game of all time, my second favorite game of all time is, and I have like a top 5, but I haven't really thought about it in a while. My second favorite game of all time is probably Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Alright, check that out.
It's a very interesting looking capital ship.
Fucking Star Destroyer looking piece of shit.
Got a bunch of glowy lights.
If I wander too close to it, its weapons will destroy me immediately.
Well, time to fly towards it.
No. Although one time I went to a space station and there was one of these, like, it was like battle damaged and it was like in a big construction scaffolding just outside the station. That is a Farragut class battlecruiser. I know because it's the one of 2 capital ships in the game. Yeah, I already got a warning from them. Back off, you're not authorized to be close.
Get your titty gumbo away from here.
Well, I mean, that's fair, because like, they're a military vessel, and I'm like some unknown ship that just came out of warp next to them. I could be like a kamikaze pilot for all I know. Alright, we're gonna have to visit this system's nav beacon, because I don't have any astronomical data to use. Alright. I think if I had to pick a favorite, like, simulator-style game, no joke, it would probably be this.
I can see that. It's a lot of fun. You put in a lot of hours. My third favorite game of all time, I'd have to say, is Crash 2.
Crash 2 was just an amazing platforming game.
Yeah, I mean everything about it's just perfect. My fourth favorite game after that is Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon. That one, I've spent a lot of hours playing on that one. Just the little skateboarding mini game, actually. I just spent a ton of time doing that one.
I think out of Spyro games, the original is my favorite.
The original is my second favorite. Actually, since I've recently beat Ripto's Rage, I'd say it goes 3, 1, 2 for me. But 3 and 1 are super close together. I think the reason why I give 3 the nod is because I enjoyed the levels being more detailed and having more to them.
Well, this star has a lot of emissions coming off of it.
1924-23 blaze it, motherfucker.
It's just smoking an entire planet worth of weed.
And then I think to round it out, my fifth favorite game of all time. I think it's still, and I've thought about bumping it a little bit lower, but I think it's still Terraria.
Terraria is really good. I don't know what I'd pick higher on the list, like between Terraria and Minecraft. See, this is what happens when you scan the nav beacon. Because when we first got here, we would have just got the star, and that's it. We're going to find a planet and land on it. All the planets in this system are the same.
Everything is the same.
Although recently, like one of the last times I played this, I found a planet that you could land on that had a ring around it. Oh my god, those were some cool visuals. I thought I took screenshots of it, but I didn't. Well, I guess since they're all the same, we're just going to pick one that's nearby. What are you scanning me for? You're not going to find anything you want. Definitely another game that's up there that's really high on the list for me is Metal Gear Solid 3.
Snake Eater's really good.
Yeah. And I think it, like, as weird as it sounds, I think it's one of the lesser end on the spectrum of Hideo being a weirdo as far as story writing goes.
Yeah, the story was definitely, I mean, it definitely had its...
It's still weird, but...
It stayed pretty... Well, I think one of the reasons why is because it stayed within reasonable bounds of realism when it came to, like, the Cold War and stuff. Like, it wasn't a bunch of futuristic bullshit.
Yeah, and it had easily my favorite female character ever put in a video game, the boss. Also, if they ever made a movie out of Snake Eater, who do you think would play like a good like Snake, and who do you think would play a good boss? It's actually going to sound funny because for Snake, I'd pick David Hayter because he looks like Snake, and he's the voice of Snake.
That was my first thought, but well, I don't know. That's like the weird thing though is David Hayter's not like an actual actor, is he? He's just a voice actor, correct?
And writer. He wrote one of the X-Men movies.
So I mean, you don't quite. You don't quite know if he's
I'd at least give David Hayter a shot. I'd run him through a few scenes to see if he could do it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because if you can get the voice of Snake and the fact that that combined with the fact that he looks like Snake, if you can get those both together and working, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, he was honestly like my first thought because I just think like you can't really get much better than the actual.
But the better question would be who would get picked if you couldn't. Like, I'm interested to hear what you would say.
See, I'm not like super good with like knowing actors and stuff. So you'd need an actor that was like tough and grizzled, but had sort of a specific finesse with the way they speak. I honestly couldn't tell you. I could think about this for the next 20 minutes, and I don't think I could think of
How
one.
about the boss? The boss might be easier.
The boss I'm even worse with. I would not be able to tell you who I would cast as the boss. What do you think?
Personally, I'd pick Tilda Swinton.
Okay.
She got the look. Like, I feel like visually she could pull off a good boss.
I can't disagree with that.
Well, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, she's the Let me just look her up real
Most
fast.
recently, she played the Ancient One in Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Okay. She may be a little bit old at this point, but yeah.
Well, the boss did look a little older.
I mean, she's like 60.
Well, I mean, like, she didn't look that old in
Doctor
in
Strange,
Doctor
yeah.
Strange.
She
That-
looks like a good choice, though.
As far as whether or not she could play the character, I'm not entirely certain because I've only seen 2 movies with her in it. I've seen Doctor Strange and Constantine. She was the androgynous angel in Constantine.
Hmm.
Honestly can't think of anybody else visually who would play a good boss other than Tilda Swinton. Because I feel like she's probably the actress I can think of that looks the most like the boss. Like off the top of my head.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
Hmm.
I think it's a good choice.
Although I totally get Dolph Lundgren to play Vulcan. Like look up Dolph Lundgren and then look at Vulcan. Like tell me that wouldn't be a good choice.
I can see that. Plus, he's pretty good at a Russian accent.
Yeah, he was Ivan Drago after all. Although he's a Swedish guy. Or let's try a game you're a little more familiar with. Like if they were to make a movie out of it, who would you pick? Like think of a game.
Hmm.
So I don't think you could really make a movie out of Symphony of the Night.
I mean, you could, but it would be.
There's too much space between the story.
Yeah. It'd be like story, action, story, action, story. Action. Sorry about that. Story, action, story, action.
Like it'd be one of those things that'd have to be adapted in a really weird way, and it would be like weird in some fashion.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same.
Although if they were to make one, and now this would still be impossible because of Tim Curry's current state of health. But I'd say Tim Curry would play a good Symphony of the Night Dracula.
Oh, I agree. He even has the same sort of facial features from the little drawings and stuff.
Yeah, like both visually, and I think he could act it really well.
I agree.
Because Tim Curry can get that real good over the top vibe that Dracula had. Just gotta find a place to land.
I hate to cut it short here, but I need to start go get ready for work.
Okay. Alright, we'll cut it here. Alright, let me stop my ship so I don't crash into anything so I can actually... You know what? Pause. There we go. Alright, well, if you're watching, listening to us bullshit about movies, thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.
See you, everybody.